What's the most expensive mistake someone made following simple instructions? I was house sitting for my boss, Ms. Lee. My house sitting duties were literally on a single sticky note. It read, feed the koi once at dusk with the baby medicine-sized scoop, and do not touch the pump. That's it. Not sorta once, not interpretive once. Once, tiny scoop, pump stays on like the sun. Then a work thing came up. So I texted my neighbor's responsible cousin, Peyton. She's the kind of teenager who says no worries, like a spell. I leave the scoop by the pond, slap a note on it that clearly read, one small scoop, once. I also sent her a message just in case. Please feed at sunset, tiny scoop only, don't touch the pump. She replies in 0.4 seconds saying, got it, but not even 20 minutes later, my phone rings and the ringtone suddenly sounds like an alarm. Peyton, whisper panicking. They still looked hungry, so I gave them a little more. And Google said to let the food sink, so I turned the pump off. Also, your scoop was small, so I used a bigger one from the kitchen. I'm in the car before my brain finishes the sentence. Why would you Google against a sticky note? Why does every disaster start with, so I hit Ms. Lee's driveway like a stunt driver. The pond looks like a latte. Not poetic, but brownish. Foamy, with a sad crema. The pump is off. The filter intake, which is supposed to sip water, is chewing oatmeal. Pellets everywhere. Two koi hover near the surface with the haunted, open-mouthed stare of people who have eaten 7 free bread baskets. One is bright orange with a chubby forehead. Name tag on the rock, pumpkin. Don't touch anything. I tell Peyton, who is already touching something. I flip the pump hood. Warm, too warm. I call the emergency pond guy. He arrives with the energy of a disappointed uncle at Thanksgiving. One look, and he does the head shake. Turned it off, then on. With the intake jammed, he points at the pellet mush. You burned the motor. Now it can't circulate. And the fish are stressing. Peyton, barely audible. They looked hungry. He starts his triage. Aerator, net, a water test kit that looks like it belongs in a spy movie. He explains as he works, which is a special kind of pain. The oxygen drops without flow. The filter clog makes the motor fight for its life. The sudden restart cooks it. We bucket out sludge, and then he cleans it all up before pulling the pump. It wheezes like an old radio and dies in his hands, which I'm pretty sure counts as a funeral. So he prepared to order a new one. New pump, the pond guy says, tapping numbers. Water truck to top off. Chemicals. Maybe a koi vet for pumpkin there, just in case. A koi vet. That's a job. Of course it is. I text Ms. Lee a status update heavy on solutions and light on how are you. The universe laughs and sends her home early. She pulls in, sees the truck, the hoses, the teenager, the latte, silence. Then, very calmly, show me your instructions. I hand over my phone, the sticky note, the baby scoop, the time-stamped, got it. Later on, the koi vet arrives with a tiny stethoscope. He checks Pumpkin, says he's okay, and Pumpkin immediately swims away. The bill grows in real time. New pump, not cheap. Water refill, somehow also not cheap. Chemicals, labor, emergency fee, fish health consult. The pond guy totals it while I stare at the koi, trying to telepathically promise I'll never crowd their digestive system again. Final number lands like a bowling ball. 4380. I wait for the thunder. Ms. Lee just exhales through her nose like a teacher who has taught this class before. We will be installing a locked automatic feeder, she says, with labels. 2 days later, the fortress feeder is bolted to the pergola. The sign on it reads, do not touch, especially you. Josh, I deserve it, I guess. I still see Pumpkin sometimes when I pass the yard. He does that slow, superior glide only the truly fed can manage. But the most expensive lesson that week? When the note says 1, it doesn't mean interpret.